Yo, what's happening, people? And welcome back to the Tiki Taka podcast, where you're going to hear hot takes, unbiased opinions, and hopefully have a couple laughs along the way. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, just maybe tune over to the video for a second.
Yeah,
we've had some updates on set, some
real
new
heroes.
photos.
Some real heroes have come to
join us.
It was
about Martinelli and Tomiyasu. You, I want to say you served us well, but most people don't even know Tomiyasu plays football. And
Martinelli, the way we talk about him,
the less he needs to be off the desk for now. It's might not be permanent, but like you say, two real heroes. On the right hand side there, we've got Gabriel, goal after the North London derby, 1-0. I think you've often said that might be your favourite moment of the season.
That is still
my
favourite moment of the season. And we're recording this like 21st of Jan.
That is my second favourite moment.
Yeah. I told you my caveat.
My favourite moment, I said in September, I don't think that will get topped.
I told you my caveat. That's the best.
That's
the best goal that we've scored.
Yeah.
Well, that's the best moment.
But even as a moment, Teta, Calafiori celebration. Well, Calafiori could have been on this day. But that would have been another Tomiyasu with his injury problems. He needs to play 3 games in a row before he gets into those.
I don't know if we'll ever get that, unfortunately.
And of course, on the left-hand side, the star boy, no doubts about this one. Me and Michael discussing who to be on the desk. Absolutely no doubts about it.
What I will say about Martinelli and Tomiyasu was, at the time when we started the pod, they were like unsung heroes.
Martinelli had just come off the back.
Exactly. Tomiyasu, our best 1v1 defender. Arteta says he never makes defensive mistakes. All of that kind of stuff. So it made sense.
Yeah.
But as this season and seasons before us have progressed,
hopefully the pod's not a jinx.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if it starts to look like that, these two will come off the desk immediately.
But these two have been our heroes.
100%. Bukayo Saka carried the team most of the season. We can all feel his absence. Guys, obviously,
Gabriel's just picked up the mantelpiece.
Class. Gabriel, Saka's gone out. Gabriel, I need to score more goals.
I'll do more.
But one person, apologies, Ben White. Ben White, you were
next up.
You deserve to be on the desk.
Yeah,
you deserve to be on the desk. Yeah. But at the moment, there's only 2 spots. Maybe in future years, if there's a bigger set,
maybe we can fit.
But Gabriel, after his performances in North London derbies in particular, he just has to be on this desk. So Ben White's next up, though. He's next up.
We're waiting on the return, King.
Yeah. And speaking of obviously North London derbies and football, a lot has happened in the last week, but we actually need to start this show off on a bit of a somber note by saying that our thoughts and prayers are with Pedro Porro. After his knees were absolutely snapped by Leandro Trossard, who went on to score the winner in the North London derby. So thoughts and prayers are with Pedro Porro.
100%.
Hopefully, guys are saying, Pedro Porro's injured.
That's it.
He was injured.
Pedro Porro picked up something during the game, and
I saw that live. I said to these guys, I ain't seen no replays of that, but Pedro Porro cannot be allowed to play football again. Just seeing it live, it was one of the nastiest things I've ever seen. The way his legs collapse.
And what I love about the whole thing is Trossard's a good player. Trossard's a good dribbler, all this kind of stuff, but he's not that kind of like, I'm just gonna murder you.
Yeah.
He's not that kind of player.
A Jeremy Doku.
Yeah. Douglas.
Yeah,
exactly. So for Trossard to have that sort of, I'm just gonna put you on a highlight reel for the rest of your life.
When Expressions was watching it and he was like, yeah, his knees are gone. Look, John. Knees, John. Yeah. So thoughts and prayers with Pedro Porro. Obviously, if he did pick up an injury from that, it looked like that on the weekend. We'll get into that. But speaking of Leandro Trossard, he obviously scored the winner in the North London derby. He deserves his praise for that. And Arsenal played Villa on the weekend, which we will start there. Because for as much as that was a disappointing game, Leandro Trossard can walk away with his head held high.
Yeah.
Absolute baller in that game. He balled out, got 2 assists. It was almost like I was watching the star boy.
I think we always speak about this in football, man, like the intangible of confidence, and after Trossard bagging the winner versus Tottenham, and he hadn't scored for 12 games, and it just felt like every shot that Trossard had prior to the one versus Tottenham was high, wide, and ugly. Yeah. Felt like every cross that Trossard had before the game against Tottenham couldn't find its man. It was easy for the first defender to head away, wherever it was. But this game was the epitome of like, okay, Trossard's feeling confident. Trossard thinks that I've got the best of my man, and Trossard thinks that I'm back and I'm balling again, and I'm in some sort of
I
form.
couldn't believe Matty Cash didn't get hooked.
Yo, for me, as I said, Trossard's an alright dribbler. He's not like the best in the world, but he's not, you know, it's the jinky. It's the like, I'm gonna chop here, I'm gonna chop and cut back, and then when you cut back, I cut back again, and then I still put in a good ball. Get your head on this guy, you know. It was very good to see Trossard play like that. It was very reminiscent of Starboy in the sense of this just needs to go down.
100%.
This wing, we just need to
keep funneling it down here.
Make the switch.
And it was, even though he scored the winner in the North London derby, and I have absolutely nothing bad to say about Trossard, he was absolutely terrible in that game. for the first 30 minutes, I wanted him subbed. He was just as bad as Sterling in that game, who was probably our worst player.
Yeah.
But you go and score. The judges said, I'm as fickle as they come. Do business against Tottenham, and I don't really care.
I love you.
So it is. But look, Arsenal go 2-0 up in that game at home. Before Villa end up scoring twice in 5 minutes. Through what personally I think is 2 individual mistakes. I think Marino has got to do better to track Tielemans. We've seen Tielemans when he had the GoPro.
Yeah,
that's not an athlete.
Yeah, you know, I hate it when it's like first goal of the season.
Yeah,
Tielemans is just gonna get a diving header at the
Tielemans
Emirates.
Diving header.
Yeah, at the Emirates.
So Marino's got to do better there. Marino's catching a lot of flack, but I actually think he played okay in the game. I think that was one of his better games. And I mean, the less said about Thomas Partey on that second goal, the better.
I was going to say, I think, obviously, I think Thomas had a part to play, 100% in the second goal. But to your point about Trossard stinking it up in the Tottenham game, but scoring the winner, I said this to you about Partey. I thought Partey stunk it up against Tottenham. He wasn't really that good that day. But, Partey has I don't know what you call it on Basuma. Challenge pass.
Octopus.
Yeah. Partey has
get that limb in there.
Partey has that moment where he completely pantses Basuma. I'm just gonna grab that ball and give it over to Odegaard, and then Trossard gets the goal from that. Versus today or yesterday, whenever the game was, where I thought Partey played all right, like he was doing well. I was seeing Partey overlapping runs, which I wasn't used to, and he was making an effort. He picked out Odegaard and all this kind of stuff, but you could say he's at fault for both goals, or you could say he has a part to play, for both. Definitely the
second goal, I can't even. The rest of his all-round game is kind of negated by
exactly
because of what happens there. And I said to you, I'm not going to kill Partey for it because Partey's not a right back. Yeah. But that second one, that's just basics. Bro. Even if you're playing in as a defensive midfielder, you should be able to track your man in that situation.
No, I agree with that, and I think the like conceding of the second one is for me the most shocking thing about the weekend, because unlike the Brighton one, I can take the Brighton one on the chin. I was upset. I didn't really think it was a penalty, but the ref's given it. I came on the pod and I said I'm more upset that Arsenal haven't gone again. Like, we still have 30 minutes to play in that game to go and grab a winner. This was the game where, like, going into the game, I thought we were going to win, because I thought Liverpool were going to drop points, and then Liverpool won, and then I was like, okay, so we could actually drop points here.
Yeah.
And then when I find myself 2-0 up after 55 minutes or 60 minutes, I'm like, as I said to you as well, when Martinelli and Marino scored, when Martinelli and Havertz scored, it just seemed like we never really lose. We never really drop points when both Martinelli and Havertz score. Those are normally the good days out.
Yeah.
So to concede the second goal, it's like the first one. I agree with you, poor for Marino. He should do better. Even though I still give him credit for being there. He was all the way there. It wasn't a free header like the second one. He's all the way there.
Yeah.
But I just could not believe that Arsenal have thrown away a 2-goal lead at home.
Yeah.
Going for a title. We've already dropped points. As I say, the Brighton one it's away from home. Refs made a decision. We've not had the quality to go and score a second goal. But
it's the same problem, though. Ollie Watkins scores, and there's still 30 minutes to play.
Yeah.
And this time we're at home.
Yeah.
Right? I agree with you. When you go 2-0 up at home, if you're competing for a title, that should be game over. Right? Especially Havertz scored 5 minutes into the second half or whatever. 40 minutes left with Arsenal's defence. But even after it goes to 2-2, this isn't Brighton away.
Yeah,
exactly. Go and bang the door down on Fulham away, and we have to go and score another goal. We're at home against a decent team in Aston Villa, look, in some ways we were unlucky. Like, I said to you, that's almost the most I've seen Arsenal kind of crash the door down.
Yeah.
Right, with an offside goal and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Martinez save and Trossard miss and all of that stuff. But we mentioned it there, yeah. Martinelli scored. Havertz has scored. Havertz has won us points. Martinelli's gone on a bit of a streak.
I think this is the first
Right.
game they were saying on TV that this is like this must be because they're saying Arsenal have never dropped points in a game that Martinelli has scored in.
Okay.
We've never lost or something along those lines
Yeah,
in
yeah,
a game
yeah.
that Martinelli has scored
Yeah.
in. And I guess we didn't really lose. But it was like the first time where I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But look, Martinelli does his thing. Martinelli's been scoring since Saka got injured. Trossard's done his thing. We've spoken about him. Havertz has done his thing
as well.
Right. Even Nwaneri, Ethan, has done his thing.
Yeah.
He came in before he got injured. And that was when Saka went out. Everyone knew Arteta's messaging in his press conference was this is a time for other people to step up. Right,
everyone has to. I think Arteta literally verbatim was like, everyone has to step
Gabriel.
up. Yeah.
We need more goals from you. Gabriel stepped up. Marino, he's scored some goals. He's got some assists, right? Martin Odegaard. You're the one guy that hasn't contributed to this yet. Yeah. And not only have you not contributed, but you're just not playing well at all. At all. And as the captain, as the second best attacker, second best player potentially at Arsenal, when you see someone like Saka go out, you need to start putting up the numbers.
Even beyond just Saka, for example. Saka's out. We know Saka's been out for a while. Saliba's out this game as well. So we're down another sort of, linchpin, huge part of the team. Captain Lulia, what type of mentality, whatever it is. Bro, I'm really annoyed with Martin Odegaard's performances this season. And I can't say performances because maybe that's not it. Because there's been certain games, for example, where he's performed well or he's kept things ticking and he's done the stuff that we want from him. But for me, it's the mentality of Martin Odegaard this season that is so jarring, especially because Saka's gone down. Like, Saka, star boy, best player in the team. I've often thought that Martin Odegaard is sort of right there with Saka. I can give Saka the best player in the team thing because he scores the goals, he creates the assists, he puts the ball in that makes it 1-0, makes it 2-1, makes it 1-1. Whatever.
You've always said he's our most decisive player.
Yeah, whatever. He does the critical thing to get us the goal. Yeah. So that's why he's the best player. But I've often thought, especially towards the back end of last season, that Martin Odegaard almost does everything else. He'll keep it ticking. He'll set the press. He'll, play people in. He'll make us look like a threat constantly. But this season, with Saka down, it just feels as if Martin Odegaard is afraid to shoot. It feels as if Martin Odegaard is afraid to take the ball on the half turn and make something for himself or make something for other people. I was telling you as well, I was like, when's the last time we've had Havertz through on goal? When's the last time we've had anybody through on goal like via a Martin Odegaard pass?
Yep.
We got that a lot last season. We were getting onto Havertz. He's not really a finisher. How can he miss that 1v1? Who was confident when Havertz was all that kind of stuff. I hear that. You can put that at Havertz's feet. But now we're in a situation where it's not Havertz, it's not Martinelli, unless Martinelli does it himself, picks up the ball from 45 yards and drives.
Yeah.
We're never really putting guys through on goal, and we're never really getting this mentality from Martin Odegaard that I need to pick up the mantelpiece from Saka for goals and assists and changing the game. And as you say all of that happens and it's 2-2 and there's 30 minutes to play. Martin Odegaard, we're at home. You're the captain.
Yep.
There's 30 minutes to play. Make something happen. Put a ball on a plate for someone. Let me kill that other person for missing the chance.
Yep.
Do you take a shot, keeper make a one? Emi Martinez, I don't know how he's got down there, or I don't know how he's tipped that past the post. Or whatever it is. And I think that's the most annoying thing for me about Martin Odegaard this season is it's not even that he's not doing it. It's almost as if he's like content or happy to not even try to do it.
Yeah.
Like I'm the guy that's gonna keep things ticking. I'm the guy that's like gonna play the politician's role and set the press. And you could do all of those things, bro. But take shots.
Yeah.
Play people in. It's so jarring to me.
I think with Odegaard, and they actually did a piece of this on Monday Night Football. Jamie Carragher kind of ran through it and looked at like some of the positions that Martin Odegaard's picking the ball up in. And we've seen this, we've spoken about it. Martin Odegaard, how many times will he come and pick it up from Thomas Partey, who's playing right back, or from Saliba, who's playing centre back? And Martin Odegaard's picking up the ball with 10 players in front of him. Yeah. Martin Odegaard doesn't need to be doing that in this Arsenal team.
Yeah.
Right? What Martin Odegaard has to be doing is getting into the spaces. Jamie Carragher was pausing certain clips at certain times, showing that we haven't got anybody in between the lines.
Yeah.
Right? Odegaard's meant to be a sort of traditional 10, right? And that's why it's so confusing to me, because he was doing that last year. As much as he was doing the I'll keep things ticking and I'll come and pick it up from deep, I'll also get in between the lines.
Yeah. How many times last season did we kill Eddie? Yeah. Not just burying that chance.
Like you said, Havertz.
Yeah.
Sometimes we would kill Havertz last year, right? Whoever it was, Martinelli. But Odegaard, it's almost like he's not, like Jamie Carragher called it bravery, and I do kind of think there is a part of that of like, yo, go and get in between these lines and sacrifice yourself that Tyrone Mings is just going to come straight through the back of you. Or someone, but you're a number 10, bro. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Like you say, if he's in those positions in between the lines, he might be able to get on the half turn and find Kai Havertz for a 1v1. Like, and my biggest thing with Martin Odegaard is I don't think he's just a bad player, right? I think he's got, his quality is still there. And I've said before that I kind of see his long-term future as almost a Bernardo Silva type role.
Yeah, you've said that.
Yeah. When Bernardo Silva was at his peak, at his prime, because I don't think it's naturally in Martin Odegaard's game to be goals and assists, right? Like you say, his mentality of like, Saka's out, I need to be. I don't know if he really has that.
And he came out last season. Do you remember? I think it was like before he signed his new deal or whatever it was, and they were asking him, "Do you prefer to score? Do you prefer to assist?" And he said, "I love assists. I just love the feeling of creating for other people." All this kind of stuff. And I kind of always hate those interviews. Yeah. But whatever, I get it.
That is who he is. That's the kind of player he is. Yeah.
But I just think that, man, when we've lost a guy that has, 15 goal contributions, Odegaard, you can't go 6, 7, 8, 9 games and have 0 goal contributions.
Well, I agree.
With the quality that you have.
With the quality that you have, would get more than that.
Yeah.
Right.
So the mentality of I'm ready to create and I'm happy for others to get theirs and all this kind of stuff, it needs to stop when the 15 goal contribution guy,
when he comes back,
yeah, exactly,
go and do that stuff,
exactly. But when he goes down, and you're looking around, and everybody else is like, all right, I'll step up a bit, I'll take more shots. But you need to take more shots.
That's my point. Literally everybody, we've taken Martinelli off the desk. Yeah, we've killed him a lot this season. Yeah, but he's kind of stepped up. Yeah, as much as his 90-minute performances have been terrible, he's most of the time leaving with a goal or an assist in this period where Saka's gone out. Trossard, he stepped up after 12 games without a goal. He scores the winner in the North London
Gets 2 assists.
Balls against Aston Villa. Havertz has been ticking over throughout this period.
Yeah.
And Odegaard's meant to be better than all of them.
It's the captain.
Exactly, he's the captain. We're not even going to mention the missed penalty against United.
Yeah.
Right? Which was, you score that one in the next round. United have playing Leicester at home.
We're playing Leicester at home. Yeah.
United aren't going to come back and score another goal with 10 men if you put that away. But yeah, Martin Odegaard's being really frustrating right now. I think he just has to go back to just playing between the lines. We have enough players who can get the ball from deep and progress it forward. You need to be the guy that's finding the final pass and actually influencing the attacking play. And please, when you hit a shot, hit a shot like you're trying to score.
Put your foot through it. I swear, if the next shot I see from Martin Odegaard is comfy and safe into the keeper's gloves. You know the ones where it's like he almost does the cricket.
Yeah. We'll see it tomorrow.
Yeah, the cricket outfield. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Get that one in. That's calm. That's safe.
The Tottenham one.
Yeah.
I'll pass that to him. He can pick that up and start the counter attack. But
it's annoying.
Look, it's not good from Arsenal.
And I agree more with your point about him not needing to pick up the ball from Partey, especially when like Marino and guys are on the field. Let Marino do that.
Yeah.
Let Marino play the progressive ball and all. Yeah.
Who probably deserves a mention, to be fair.
Yo. To be fair, we get an MVP.
Yeah, because Morgan Rogers is a serious guy.
All of them.
Morgan Rogers is meant to be almost the PMP of the Premier League.
Do you know what's funny? Every other commentator always praises Kulu's running power.
Yeah.
Kulu's a good runner. He's
how
one
he
of
uses
them.
gets in between you.
No, when Lewis Kelly's on the field.
Yeah. Give me that. I'll have that.
I want that one.
Yeah. But look, we'll tie this in because obviously Arsenal dropped points. And we said after the Fulham game that we don't think Arsenal can win the league. If you don't believe us, go check out that pod. We're not just coming here now thinking it's done. We said it then, or we said that we can't unless we sign someone.
I'm still in that exact position.
Yeah, same. And the reason because we picked up 3 points midweek after Liverpool drew, right? So somewhat capitalized. But at the end of the week, Liverpool picked up 4 points and Arsenal picked up 4 points.
Yeah.
So we're back at square one.
Where we were.
Right. So even though guys will say we capitalized then, we've just thrown it away now.
I think that's the most frustrating thing is knowing that Liverpool will drop more points. I was speaking to somebody and they were like, they don't think Liverpool are going to drop more than 7 points between now and the end of the season. I was like, I disagree with that. Liverpool, I think, will drop more than 7 points between now and the end of the season. We're just making them look like, and they are a very good team, don't get me wrong. They can 100% win the league. They're favourites to win the league, all the above.
We're just making it easy.
Yeah, we're just making it look like they're always out of reach because we can't ever actually put 3 wins together.
Yeah. And look, on this, we'll move to Brentford versus Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool did what Arsenal couldn't do, and they managed to find that winner late on. They had a £70 million striker that they could bring off the bench to go and score 2 goals and win the game.
I agree with that.
What are you going to say is Darwin Núñez and whatever?
No, it's not even because I don't hate Darwin Núñez as much as like Liverpool fans hate Darwin Núñez or the casual football fans.
Bro, I would love a Darwin Núñez option off the bench.
Says that it's trash. Like I actually think that Darwin Núñez, obviously he's not like Torres when that's who Liverpool thought they were signing. Yeah, he's not that guy. But every time I look at Darwin Núñez's numbers at the end of the season, I'm like, why is he catching so much flack? I think I get it.
He's good for 10 Premier League goals every season.
Yeah, I get it. I guess it's the goals, versus the price tag type thing. But Darwin Núñez for Liverpool is just a guy off the bench to come and cause a little bit of chaos and can grab a goal or 2. I agree, and that's probably not worth 70 mil. So maybe he has to go.
But it's a good option to have.
It is.
Like in any game, if Liverpool are bringing on Darwin Núñez, even though he's not clinical, and you'll say all these things about Darwin Núñez, he's a threat.
He's Uruguayan.
Right. He can cause some chaos. He can do something.
Guys, he's not going to stop running.
Right.
He's going to give 100%. He's Uruguayan. He's going to give 100%.
And he actually takes his 2 goals pretty well. But that's the difference, right? Even forget about Liverpool. Aston Villa in that game brought on John Duran and Leon Bailey, right, to go and try and make a difference in the game. And Arsenal had to bring on Raheem Sterling.
Did they bring on Donnell Marlin? Was he?
No, he didn't. I don't think he came on.
They were always panning to him.
Yeah, because of ex-Arsenal.
Yeah.
That was a script this guy wanted. But yeah, look, even Donnell Marlin, and Arsenal have to bring on Raheem Sterling, and other than that,
Donnell Marlin with 100%.
Ismail Kabia.
With Saka out, Donnell Marlin could get into probably our first team.
Guys are saying Donnell Marlin's mid, though.
He is mid, but he's better than Martinelli on the right wing. He's better than Sterling on the right wing.
But Donnell Marlin's not the guy we need.
No, he's not the guy we need, but he would probably get with Saka out.
With
Saka out, he would probably...
He's just better than what we've got. But talking about Liverpool dropping points, I've got it here. Liverpool will drop points, in my opinion, and they remind me of 22-23 Arsenal, right? The team that Man City chased down when Zinchenko was balling and Jesus is balling.
Yeah.
And we're too emotional and celebrating wins early and whatever. Like, as much as, Emmanuel Petit stuck it on Carragher pretty big time.
I haven't seen the MNF stuff.
Basically, because Emmanuel Petit was part of the Arsenal team. Has overcome the biggest ever deficit. 13. That run that they went on, though, the script, just 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. I think they conceded 3 goals in the last 15 games or something. Ridiculous run. But Emmanuel Petit's telling him it's not over. He was like, and Jamie, I know you think it's done, but it's not over. Right. And obviously, from a player's perspective, the Arsenal players are probably thinking that as well.
It's not done.
Right. Because Liverpool will drop points.
Yeah.
Right?
Even when you look at the table as a standstill right now, it doesn't look...
The gap's 6 points.
Crazy. Yeah. It doesn't look crazy because one loss from Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's like, well, the gap's 3 points.
And then all of a sudden it's like, and then they have to go and win their game.
Yeah.
But we know that can happen.
Exactly.
The whole thing has been Arsenal capitalizing, right?
Yeah.
Liverpool remind me of that 22-23 Arsenal, but they don't have a Man City chasing them, right? Man City went on and won how 15 in a row or whatever it was.
I think, I agree with that. I just
think, win that.
And we know Liverpool will drop points. Yes, agreed. I just think that and it's tough to say this. I just think it's almost guaranteed that Liverpool will drop more points if they genuinely felt us breathing down their necks and thought, oh, we could go above them or something along those lines. It's more disappointing on Arsenal's perspective and I was criticizing Tottenham and other teams for this earlier on in the season, and it's different in a certain respect. But Arsenal don't have the ability right now to go on a winning run. Yeah, across several competitions where we've won the last 7 games. Because I think, honestly, if we were to win the next 7 games, well, that's a lot of games, but even the next 4 or 5 games, I think the table would be so interesting. But I think Arsenal might win 2 and then draw, or they might draw 2 in a row and then win.
We haven't actually lost a league game.
And that's my point. So that's my point is, it's not like Tottenham, it's like Tottenham will have a massive win or United will have a massive win.
Yeah.
And then lose the next one. We won't lose the next one.
Yeah.
We just might not win the next one. And then we'll win the one afterwards. And then we'll win the one afterwards. And then we'll draw the one afterwards.
And in the title race, those draws kill you.
So it'll be like 2 wins, 2 draws in your last 4 games. And it's like not the end of the world, decent. But we're trying to chase down a team that's already had a 9-point lead on us at points in the season. So we just have this inability. And Arteta said it after the Villa game about, there's just something missing. There is just something missing when it comes down to these crunch moments in games when either we need a goal or to keep a goal out. More often than not, we need a goal. And we just don't have it. We just don't have the ability to every game for it to be Nunes one week and Salah the next week and Jota the week after that. And we just don't have that.
Yeah.
And I do give Liverpool credit because for now, they do have that and they are finding the solutions. And they didn't necessarily play too well at Brentford, and Salah again post-Christmas, it's starting to catch up a little bit, but I can't say too much. They're winning games. 6 points ahead of us. So I hear that.
But look, Emmanuel Petit saying, look, it's we've only been 22 games in.
And this is a crazy thing to say.
Halfway. So.
This is a crazy thing to say on the pod, but I was thinking about this. Liverpool are a good team. Especially throughout the Klopp era of things. Klopp won it all, and that's why I give them more I put them more to be favourites than us, is because they generally have winners in their squad who have won the Barclays Premier League, with Liverpool. But I was just thinking throughout history, the last 10, 15 years, I've seen a lot of Liverpool teams bottle things.
Yeah.
It doesn't ever get the same sort of chirp as when Arsenal bottle things or Tottenham, that kind of stuff. It's not as fun for other clubs, I think, to pile on to Liverpool.
Yeah.
But I've just seen it happen. I remember the Dwight Gale 3-3 and it was 5 games to go, 4-6 games to go in that season. I've seen these things
even
happen.
Last year.
Exactly.
Calvert-Lewin.
Exactly. With 11 games to go, they were 2 points, 3 points ahead of us.
Yeah.
And then they end up however many,
they lose at home to Palace.
I've seen these things happen, and it's tough to say that now we're 6 points behind, we're desperate for a signing.
But I think that stuff will happen.
But I think it will happen if we're 2-3 points behind them constantly. And it's win this one. Go to Bournemouth away. Go to Everton away.
I think that will happen regardless.
And we're 3 points behind them.
You have to be a very special team to just go and keep winning. Pep's team that went and got 100 points, right? And if anything, if Liverpool are 7 points clear or whatever, and then we're getting towards the end of the season, that's when they'll probably start dropping points because it's basically done, isn't it?
There's a bit of delusion in this because obviously that's history. And as I say, Liverpool have winners in their squad right now, but it is different from chasing down Man City or when Man City were chasing us down, when it was I've just never seen this team
struggle.
Make mistakes like this constantly, or just
every game just seems to be dominate possession, create chances, and don't let the other team have the ball. But look, Arsenal, we know Liverpool are going to drop points. It's just about whether or not Arsenal can capitalise.
10 days left.
Still nothing done in this January transfer window. Rumours seem to be very scarce for Arsenal.
Tough to believe.
Mateus Cunha is
coming around today
again.
We'll speak after.
Okay. Mateus Cunha is a very good player.
He is.
He's a very good player.
My initial thoughts are I love Mateus Cunha, but I don't know what issues he solves at Arsenal.
Well, he's better than what we've got.
That's the thing. That's the
thing.
only
That's
one.
the thing.
But it's like, does he play left wing? Does he play in the 10? Does he
I
play?
agree. Is he a goal scorer?
Yeah,
Yeah, cool. I agree. But if it's Mateus Cunha or nothing, we both know where we
exactly.
are. We both know where we are.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, like you say, we can do that another time. Newcastle versus Bournemouth. Now we have to talk about this game because this was the best game of the weekend, right?
Yeah.
And that's knowing that Tottenham lost and
Man
United
United lost.
This was the best game of the weekend because Bournemouth were superb. There's no other way to describe what they put in that 90 minutes. They went to St. James's Park and they absolutely bossed it.
Yeah, I think the summary of the game is the 3-1 goal getting disallowed. Yeah. And then a Bournemouth, like normally that's like that can take the sail out of a team, and Newcastle are at home and they think, okay, there's something in it for us because the goal has been disallowed, and if we score it can be 2-2 and maybe we can go on and win it. But Bournemouth just like not letting that affect. I'm just gonna play Max Christie. I'm gonna get on it, and I'm just gonna push it here and push it there.
Christie had his own segment on MNF.
Did he?
Yeah, and they spoke about I think it was like pressures leading to tackles or whatever. Ryan Christie's made the most tackles and in midfield. They did an analysis of Iriola's press and how Iriola presses in a 4-4-2, but Newcastle obviously have 3 in midfield. So where Iriola's bringing the extra man from, sometimes it was Zabani moving, sometimes it was Semenyo tucking in, sometimes it was Tyler Adams dropping back one. It was very serious performance. Newcastle, I think they've 10 games.
Yeah, exactly, man.
And to go to St. James's Park is one of the toughest places to go to in the Premier League, and to just move to the
12:30 kickoff, not 3 p.m. blackout.
Yeah,
12:30.
Everyone's watching.
Yeah,
well, so some of us are sleeping during the first half, but everyone's watching. And they Bournemouth fans will have loved it. That's probably their longest trip for them.
Yeah, it has to be.
But Milos Kerkez scored the best goal of the game, in my opinion, even better than Kluivert's. And Kluivert's was
very good.
Very serious.
Yeah, Kluivert's was very good.
The Milos Kerkez step over, bang, shirt off. This is my stadium. I've just dunked on you. Cold. 4-1, left foot across the box. I'd love to see some of my Arsenal wingers have that step over.
Just anybody in the club do that.
Yeah. But the Kerkez, Joe Linton scraps.
Yeah, it was good,
man. Getting involved.
I said this to you about Iriola and how, like, I don't know, his stocks are obviously through the roof right now. Being the Bournemouth manager, Bournemouth are 7th in the league, guys. I'm going to repeat, Bournemouth are like 7th in the league. I think they're a point behind City, if not level on points behind City and Newcastle and all of this kind of stuff. And Bournemouth have injuries, man. Bournemouth have guys out. They just lost Dominic Solanke.
Bournemouth have 12 injuries.
Damn near their greatest ever goal scorer. He's gone.
They're 3 points off top 4.
It's crazy, yeah. But so Iriola's stocks are through the roof.
Lewis Cook had to play right back, bro. I said that to you afterwards. He's up against Anthony Gordon, who I think is probably the best left winger in the whole league.
But I think that Iriola, and I say this every time Iriola gets a draw or a win for Bournemouth, I'm always like when he drew versus Chelsea, I'm always like, bro, they need to sign Iriola down on a new contract. But the more I think about that, I'm like, Iriola's in such a precarious position. We've just spoken about Milos Kerkez. They've got players like Antoine Semenyo. They've already lost Dominic Solanke. Anybody that has 6 good months at Bournemouth is gonna go. He's gonna go.
Yeah.
And Bournemouth aren't gonna fight too much to keep him. They know that they're a selling club.
Yeah.
And it comes a point where it's like, Iriola, we know is a good manager, but how many times can he replace a Semenyo? How many times can he replace a Dominic Solanke? How many times can he replace a Milos Kerkez?
Do they have the Brighton set?
Exactly. Is that really there for Iriola to be like, I'll sign a new deal. I'll spend another 2 years
but
here.
They'll make big money on those guys.
It's true.
So they might be able to go in and maybe not so much have to find a gem, maybe because they spent 40 on Evan Nilsson, right?
Yeah.
Solanke money. So maybe if they're buying that sort of striker from the Portuguese league, he's a veteran. But I agree with you. And 2 guys that emphasize that and a good 6 months. And the two guys that I actually want to talk about are the two centre backs for Bournemouth. Yeah, you had Dean Howson on your
top 10.
Top
him high
10.
up there.
I just clocked on the weekend that he was Spanish.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's that surname. He's definitely Dutch. Dean Howson with the IJ and
when
the S.
commentators say Dutch-born Spanish defender, you're in trouble. You just know he's gonna be very good.
Iriola's got his centre back with the outballs.
Yeah,
this is how we beat the press, and a lot's been said about Dean Howson, but his partner Zabani is built like he's from Dagestan.
I said, the craziest thing in the game was there was a bit of a kerfuffle. Handbags were coming out. Zabani's looking Joe Linton dead in the eyes.
Bro, and
he's like
Joe Linton's stocky, yeah. But Zabani's shoulders are like almost as wide as
Joe I've never seen any football player look Joe Linton dead in the eyes. He's squaring them up, and he's the same height as Joe Linton.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, Zabani's huge.
Yo, the two of them. Anyone interested in watching any Bournemouth games? That's Gabriel and Saliba light. That's my stamp given to them there. Dean Howson, he likes to play. He likes to come out with the ball. The Dean Howson recycle looks quite good.
Yeah.
He maybe doesn't really enjoy the aerial duels. And
19.
He's ready to.
19.
Well, Saliba still hasn't.
Yeah, he still hasn't matured enough.
He still doesn't want
That's
to
just the French part of Saliba.
Right? Yeah. So for Saliba, it's just I'm too good at all of this other stuff. Leave that one. Right, but Zabani, aggressive, come in, I'll come through the back of you, I'll go and win that. The two of them are brilliant. And
they are.
I'd be surprised if they keep both of them in the summer. And Senesi,
I'd be surprised if they keep the both of them in the summer. But it's also the same thing about like Patrick Kluivert. I don't think Patrick Kluivert. Yeah, he's a good player.
Justin, is that?
Sorry.
Yeah. Talking about his dad.
Justin, I think Justin's a good player, and but the thing about Bournemouth now is, or the thing about Bournemouth all the time is, because clubs know that he's a selling club. Like Justin Kluivert doesn't need to go to a Chelsea. Justin Kluivert doesn't need to go to Man United. But like Napoli or Roma or whoever could say, yo, we think you could be our main piece. So we think, and it's like it's tough for Justin Kluivert maybe to be like, I'll stay at Bournemouth for one more year.
Yeah.
When
especially when a Napoli
or Roma or whoever, it doesn't have to be in this country. That's my point about Bournemouth and Iriola. It's going to be tough if a player has 6 good months and they say, "Whoa, Kluivert's just got 10 goals in the Premier League."
That's why if Bournemouth make it into any form of Europe,
it's done.
I think they've got a lot of chance of keeping, or a better chance of keeping some of those players.
I agree with that, because it's like we've done something here.
Because then why would you go to a Tottenham or a Man United who haven't made?
Yeah.
Whoever else has to be sacrificed and whatever.
I hear that. Ariola can definitely sit with the guys and be like, "Hey, look, we've done something here. One more year. Let's see what we can do." But I don't know if Bournemouth will do the Brighton thing of like going into the market, and I don't know how Brighton just ended up with a good quality squad with like 3 or 4, 5 wingers that play at a decent level. Because Bournemouth will need that to be in Europe. And
But you know what? When I saw the Bournemouth injuries, I was like, their squad is actually it's thin right now. We're seeing the same players, but Sinistera, now Evan Nielsen, all these guys that are out.
Does that match? Like, for example, Brighton's wingers.
No, it's not the same.
You got Andringa, you got Minter, you got Matoma.
But the Brighton team's been building there since Potter.
Yeah, that's only March. It's true.
So,
yeah.
But no, look, shout out to Bournemouth. That was an unbelievable performance, and they've got Forest on the weekend. So another game that I'm looking forward to.
I'll be there.
But we'll move it on Sunday, and after Saturday night, I needed the football gods to make my weekend all right.
We were saying we'll take just one.
Yeah, and Everton versus Tottenham. Tottenham going to Goodison. I told Michael before the game. Obviously, again, it's just he said.
We'll get the call mic up. Don't worry, guys.
But Goodison's never an easy place to go. Tottenham, just the fabric of that football club, the fabric of that team, and their manager. Goodison's a place that will just rattle you and get on top of you. And Everton were 3-0 up at half time.
Yeah.
This is an Everton team.
Should have been 4 or 5.
Who before this game had scored 9 open play goals.
Those clips that you were showing me of Jamie Carragher being like, Everton can't be involved in a 3-2, guys. No way. Yeah. No way. And at the time, to your point,
9 open play goals before this game. They scored 3 open play in this game.
It's the third. I was slacking. I missed the first half of this game. But I was dead certain the first half of this game was going to be a 0-0, and a winner would be found in the second half for either team. That's almost always how a Tottenham Everton game would go. With just not really much in the first
and
half.
Then Harry Kane just takes the 3 points. And...
So I was dead certain there was no goals. I was beside myself when I checked my phone after like 30 minutes to find that Everton were 2-0 up. I was like, what's going on? I'm hearing that Everton are popping out about a bit, and Mangala's doing things and all of this kind of stuff.
They absolutely moved to Tottenham.
I just think that this is the most embarrassing loss of Ange's career, maybe. And he's had a lot of bad losses. You know, he's been slapped a couple.
Ipswich.
Yeah, Ipswich is up there. But I think
he lost Ipswich
at home, and Ipswich hadn't won at all. But I just think being 3-0 down,
and
I know
that's shocking.
I know they pulled it back, but like, if you had told me, for example, without seeing the game, Everton are winning, Everton have played a good football this half, it's half time, what do you think the score is? And I had to guess an Everton scoreline, a winning scoreline. I'd be like 1-0.
Yeah. 1-0 max. Yeah.
Everton are playing good football, they're 1-0 up. For Everton to be 3-0 up at half time, game's done. Like
it's no more classic Tottenham, yeah. DCL, first goal in 17 games. Thank you, Dr. Tottenham. Dr. Tottenham, rise again. DCL, have your goal. But the second goal, Iliman Ndiaye.
Watching Kirkers.
My guy. Yeah. Made it onto the list of the top 10 transfers.
Yeah.
Because he is cold. He is cold, that guy. The way but it's so bad from Tottenham and Tottenham's perspective because it's 1-1-2 with Idris again.
And he's through.
And he's running Dragusin.
Yeah.
Right?
Doesn't want to put
Dragusin.
We know Dragusin does not want to put the challenge in. Dragusin wants to wait for you to get into Mustafi thing.
The less said about Dragusin, the better.
I want to wait for you to get into the box and then try and do something, but it's too late.
Yeah. And Iliman Ndiaye absolutely sells him, sends him for a hot dog with the step over, left foot finish into the roof of the net. And then there's an own goal right before half time. Tottenham come back a bit in the second half and it ends 3-2. Good result for David Moyes. Tottenham fans were saying before that game there was a 6-pointer. The gap between Everton and Tottenham in 15th and 16th is 4 points.
Yeah,
Everton have a game in hand.
I'd love that, man.
What next for
Ange's going to get
Tottenham?
Well, I don't know if Ange will get sacked because he is in the Cups, but
the Cups is that's keeping him there.
That's keeping him there. But I do, and I said this to you, a storm is coming for Ange. It was brewing before the Arsenal game, but before the Arsenal game, it was just like I'm not really happy with where the season's going from Tottenham fans. But if we win the Cups, I'll be happy, type of thing. But then after they've lost to Arsenal, and now they've lost again to Everton, so that's 2 losses in a row in a week, and it's like 22 games played, 11 or 12 losses, however many Tottenham have. Bro, that storm is getting serious amongst the fans. It feels like every sort of Tottenham fan I speak to or I hear about, they're all sort of on the like, yeah, he needs to go.
Yeah.
He needs to go. I'm not happy with this. He needs to go. You know, second season, the project's getting worse. And just the fact that there's a remote possibility that Everton could finish above Tottenham this season is crazy. Yep. It's crazy. That, man, it's worse. Tottenham will stay up, yeah? Don't get me wrong. But it's almost worse if you stay up and Everton finish above. We're looking at the final standings and Everton have a point, 2 points, 3 points above Tottenham.
And the only reason Tottenham, and I'll include Man United in this as well, the only reason the two of them will stay up is because the
bottom 3 teams are just terrible.
Yeah. Absolutely terrible. I won't even take 40 points.
In particular, Southampton and Leicester. Right. Just in particular, those two teams drag the level down so much.
Yeah. That it's just, and that's what Tottenham's next league game is Leicester at home. So if Ange loses that, I do think he's going to get sacked.
He can't lose that, but anything less than 3 points, they could genuinely be.
I think they could sack him before the semi-final, and genuinely, because that is really bad. But there is some leeway. I'll give Ange because they have a lot of injuries, to a lot of key personnel.
I do hear that.
If they had those players fit, they wouldn't be in the position that they're in right now. But
it's kind of like us, though.
But how much higher would they be?
No, for me, it's kind of like us in the sense of like we've had injuries throughout the course of the season. We can't use injuries as an excuse as to why we're not in the league. Yeah, why we're not.
I defo can.
I defo
can.
I would say
we lost our best player.
I would say that we should have done more in the summer
Yeah,
because we knew that this was a possibility. We were saying at the end of last season, like, how lucky did we get with injuries last year? We had both centre backs fit throughout the whole season. Saka stayed fit, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, so we kind of knew that like potentially things might not go as good as it did before. And for Tottenham, like I hear the whole injury thing, Van der Ven, Romero, 2 starting centre backs. I would be complaining every week if Gabriel and Saliba weren't.
Vicario, Doggy.
So I hear that, but like in the summer, did Ange really address the quality, like the squad depth quality thing? Maybe it wasn't him. How many signings of those that they made were his?
Yeah. With that, we'll never know that.
But like that's my thing with Tottenham is I hear it, injuries. I hear it. You know, it's a bit difficult right now and all this kind of stuff. But that like every.
But I think Tottenham signed like 5 players in the summer.
Every Premier League team though.
Like how many more players can Tottenham really sign?
But that's my point. Is that speaks to the quality. Every Premier League team is banking on injuries. Like injuries are gonna come throughout the season. So
agreed.
That's why Chelsea signed so many guys.
But
that's why
what level of quality can Tottenham attract?
No, but they can do better than 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds though.
They whacked 40 million on Archie Gray. They whacked 30 million on Wilson.
Odegaard, yeah, exactly. All these guys. And now so Tottenham fans are saying, oh, their injuries are bad, but you spend 150 million on teenagers.
Yeah.
And when you knew, like, for example, Udogie and all of these guys who are out, you knew, for example, we only have 1 left back going into.
But the thing is, in Arsenal situation, I wouldn't put that on Arteta because I just cannot believe that Arteta didn't want to bring in a forward player or spend some money.
And I agree, like Tottenham fans don't all put it on Ange. They put a lot of it on Levy, and I hear all of that stuff. But my whole point is, I hear it. Ange has had trouble with injuries. Like we've just talked about Bournemouth. We have 12 injuries, you know, and the depth is kind of there and all this kind of stuff. Brighton have had injuries this season. All clubs know we're going to go for a point where 1 or 2 of our best players or whatever will be important players are going to be out injured. So let's squad build around that. It comes into the squad building thing for Tottenham where it's like, all right, Romero and Van der Ven can't be out, but then Archie Gray can't be the next option. And I get it. They'll tell you that Ben Davies is out or whoever, but they hate Ben Davies.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel as if Tottenham fans should have sort of seen this coming. You can't see injuries coming, but you know they're coming.
I'm not using it as an excuse for Ange. I just said I'm giving him a bit of leeway.
I hear that though.
Oh, but that 11 from Everton on Sunday and the 11 from Tottenham, there's no doubt who's the better team. Yeah. Tottenham are the better team. They have the better players. Yeah. The only Everton player that probably gets into that team is maybe Ange, right? Maybe Mangala.
And Tottenham fans would never take Ange over Son.
I think they would.
I don't think they could.
Even Tapin Tobe said, Ange, he gets in our team.
Well, it wouldn't be in the. It would be next to Gulu and whoever would be in midfield. They would have to do something ridiculous. And
there's a place for Ange in that team, right?
Yeah.
Right? But no matter where it is, Ange gets into that starting 11.
What I will say though is,
so he should be beating Everton even with all those injuries in that team that he has.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not making an excuse for him, and that's what I'm saying. Even if they had Van der Ven, and even if they had Romero, right? Jamie Carragher also spoke about this yesterday. They had all those players when they lost 1-0 at Palace.
Yeah,
they had most of those guys when they lost to Ipswich,
Brighton as well,
and whatever else. How much higher in the league would they be? 10th?
I think that's the thing is, how many of the losses turn to draws? How many of those draws move you up the table? How far do they move you up the table? And I do agree with like they would be in a better position if they're fully fit squad. But I just think that like Ange, even with what he has available to him, had to have turned some of those losses into draws.
Agreed.
We just said it. We said it yesterday, and you can say it throughout a lot of Tottenham season. 2 goals at Goodison Park should get you something.
It should get you 3 points. Is what it should get
at the bare minimum.
Yeah.
At the bare minimum, you should get 8 points with 2 goals at Goodison Park. So it's like you've shown the capabilities. Yeah, 3 goals at home to Tottenham or whatever it was, and when they played them in the league, should get you something.
Yeah.
You can't go to these places or have these like where you score 3 goals in a game but still end up losing, and that is only on Romero because Romero wasn't there.
Yeah.
Or because Van der Ven was. You scored 3 goals in that game, bro. Just do something
And look,
managerially. To
Yeah, agreed. I 100% agree with what you're saying there. And look, if Tottenham fans, if that is what they're saying, right, and they are talking about the injuries, then cool. When those players come back, I better see you start winning games,
Yeah.
right? I better see you start flying up that
The
table.
last thing I'll say on the Tottenham game as well is it's interesting now with Solanke out. Obviously, Richarlison's back, but I've been saying that I still think Son is a better goal scorer than Solanke. So now is the only time we can actually see it.
Well, I'm Richarlison off the left.
I don't. That's the thing with Richarlison back. It puts a bit of a spanner in the work, but they've got to get Son off the touchline
because Son played up top on Sunday.
Yeah,
and it was
no goals.
A very Aubameyang at Goodison type of performance.
So this is for me just to say I'm keeping an eye on this because if Son isn't going to be the goal scorer for Tottenham down the middle, I don't know if they should extend his 1 year because he's not a touchline winger. He's not a touchline winger in 2024.
But we know why they're extending.
Yeah.
Right. We know Levy, he's got his hand in that pie. He's taking all the revenue, all the money from that.
From a managerial,
he's got the next one lined up. And he needs Son to show him the ways.
From a managerial perspective, I know as a non-manager, Son is not a touchline winger in 2024, 2025. So for any manager to think that Son is going to be a touchline winger in 2025, 2026 is crazy.
But also Son, it's not like he's fallen off a cliff that badly that he can't be a rotational piece for Tottenham.
Yeah. Up top.
But yeah, up to wherever it is.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I agree with you, he's not a touchline winger, but if you have to play Son as a winger for 3 or 4 games a season.
Yeah. Right? I'm not. Yeah, he's
better
not
than Werner.
He's not done out.
Yeah.
Washed.
Yeah.
Should never be nowhere near the team sheet.
But if you want to be a serious football team, Son can't play on the
just look at what every other touchline winger is giving you. And I'm not talking about Son's got good technique, Son's still got good finishing.
Yeah.
But just in terms of everything else,
you
look at what every other touchline winger in the top 7 teams, top 8 teams, top 9, 10 teams.
In order to be that now, you have to be able to be a man. 1v1.
And go back the other way.
You
know.
But look, not only did Tottenham lose, Manchester United also lost.
It's a good day.
They lost again at home. Brighton have now won at Old Trafford for 3 years in a row. Let that sink in, people. Any Man United fans watching this, let that sink in. I think that's been 3 different managers as well, isn't it? Potter, De Zerbi, Hurzeler.
Do you know?
We'll get onto that.
Do you know what's worse about the Brighton thing with United now is I don't blame Brighton one bit, but it's how they're milking it, bro.
Yeah. They acted Man United.
The prop, the agenda, just that's 3 wins in a row at their place now.
The Labour griddying in front of Bruno Fernandes.
It's like, and as I said this to you off air about losing to Hurtzler. We respect Hurtzler. Let's put that on the table. Hurtzler's a good manager. He's done very well with Brighton. He's 32 or 33, however old Hurtzler is. But this is the problem. When you lose to an AI, ChatGPT, 33-year-old manager, the marketing team goes crazy, and it all starts. And we didn't beat Hurtzler this season. We didn't.
Yeah, but
we didn't lose to Hurtzler this season.
Pep's not recovered.
Exactly.
Pep, I know that burns Pep. When Brighton go to the Etihad, Pep is going to want.
You know, when a manager like Pep, like Arteta, like whoever, when you think you're of a certain pedigree and you're rewatching the game, and you're looking at O'Reilly in midfield, and Ayari and Baleba, and you're like, how is this? What's this? How is this guy doing?
Yeah. Look, we'll get onto the Brighton stuff because Brighton deserve their praise. Yeah, Amorim has won 3 out of 11 Premier League games since he's come. 3 out of 11. He's actually made this team worse than Ten Hag.
Things were better under Ten Hag.
Yep, 100%. Things were the best they've been under Ruud. Ruud's undefeated as Man United manager. And as much as Man United are shit, and we know that they're shit, and Ten Hag squad building and all of that, I can't help but think there will be many a time to come on this podcast and kill Man United and kill Amorim. So I want to talk about Brighton, right? Because Fabian Hurzeler, we've done a little bit of an intro there. He is 30. Yeah, Fabian, there's no 2 ways about it. That is a proper.
We need to go back. and watch German second division
Yeah,
football
yeah,
to see
yeah.
the origin story, to find out,
yeah.
to see what they
But
were seeing.
VfL Bochum or whoever it was that he was managing, in Bundesliga too, bro. That is a proper coach. I watch Brighton play, and whenever I watch Brighton play, they play every game like it's a derby,
Yeah, man.
right? Like, when Arsenal play Tottenham, Arsenal are playing the North London derby
Yeah,
because Arsenal don't really play every game like that,
yeah,
right? When Liverpool play Man United,
it's different.
right? That's not just an Arsenal thing. When City play United, whoever it is, Brighton. I don't know what Herzler has these men on, but they play every game like it's a derby. They came to Man United like they were Crystal Palace. Like it was their derby.
Match,
man. They
man.
absolutely have to come and win this game. Flying into tackles, their press was ridiculous. And the reason I say he's a proper coach, is just we know we've spoken about this, The De Zerbi bop is different.
It's different.
There's nobody bops, not even Pep.
Yeah.
And Pep is the greatest of the greatest. The build up and with triangles and
every De Zerbi bop said 42 pass move.
Yeah. Nothing is like the De Zerbi bop. The De Zerbi bop is crazy, but Van Hecker and Dunk.
That's what I'm saying.
That just shouldn't work.
That's what I'm saying.
That shouldn't work. Playing Herzler ball. Herzler wants to play on the halfway line, high press, get in their faces, run the channels, defending the 1v1s. Bro, I don't know how they get it to work, but Veltman's next to them. It's not even like he's got a Carl Walker there.
See, that's the thing. Veltman is the only guy I think that you can legitimately hate from Brighton. Veltman is an asshole.
Yeah, but it's also because he's good.
He's good.
He's good.
He does his job.
If Veltman was shit, I probably wouldn't hate him.
Exactly, but he does his job.
Yeah.
As I said, man, I think the most annoying thing about other managers watching Hertzler or watching their game back versus Brighton is seeing this like, I don't even know what you call it, man. This hipster new age. I'm gonna press high and it's only gonna be 1-2 stuff, and I'm gonna ask Baleba to do everything in the deep midfield, and then when he does that, he's gonna pass on to Ayari, and Ayari's gonna have to just do this bit here, and then Welbeck's back in, so that means I can rotate JP out wide, and it just must be a headache for managers. They're trying to look for an orthodox style. How do we beat this? How do we stop this? How do we come against this? And then, as you say, bro, Brighton's intensity chasing the ball down, Minter and Matoma and those guys, when they're harrying you and tracking back and making sure that you're on your weak foot and you're not making the easy pass forward and all this kind of stuff, bro. And I give Herzler respect for, we spoke about Brighton's squad depth. I give Herzler his respect for, like, he knows what two wingers he needs for said day.
Exactly.
He's done the prep.
Their next game,
I need these two wingers.
we could see Marchand and Dingra.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll work.
Yeah.
It will be Marchand and Dingra.
Yeah.
That will be
This is how we get through, and we play like this. And bro,
he's got the third
they
least
have a
losses.
lot of attacking options, good attacking options, which obviously helps him. But I know we spoke about Bournemouth and where Bournemouth are in the table. Yeah,
It's their losses, bro.
Brighton are 3 points behind Bournemouth. So.
They only have 4 losses this season.
Yeah.
The draws killed them. Two more of those draws or wins. Brighton are up there, as you say.
Yeah.
You know, but that even with De Zerbi, it was like that. Do you remember they were going that run where they just draw every game, and I think that's what's more interesting about Brighton. It's like they're a hipster team. They're often quite young. How can a triangle of Baleba, Van Hecker, and Dunk not concede hella goals
with Veltman on now?
And lose hella games, but they don't lose hella games.
No.
They're hard to beat.
Yeah,
I wouldn't like all of the like. If you think about Brighton, you think they play good football. You know, they're a nice team. They have good players, that type of stuff. But I wouldn't necessarily say that they're hard to beat. But they are hard to beat.
Yeah. Well, I think they're actually a more aggressive team now than they've been under De Zerbi or under Potter. Under De Zerbi, they were still an aggressive team, but De Zerbi was very much just, this is a showcase.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to build up from the back. And
Dunk
overlap on the thirds, and everyone's going to rotate and triangles and move around. This team is like, and Fabian Herzler, he's German, right? He's brought that like a heavy metal football. Like the aggressiveness with their press is, they are a very, very serious team. We saw Saeed say after Brighton, They're a team.
They teach us lessons about football every season. Every year we face Brighton, they teach us a lesson about how to play football.
I think every season it might have been a different Man United manager face a different Brighton manager, and every year the Brighton manager's just shown a level.
Bop to them,
Just
move
shown a
to
level.
them. This is how you take a mediocre piece and put him in a good unit. And make him a good player.
Herslow was there in the summer. If Man United were watching Bundesliga 2, and
that's why Brighton get their Brighton credit and applause, because the scouting unit in Brighton, not just for players but for managers and everything. Who was watching the second division in Germany?
Bro, even Verbruggen, man. Verbruggen. You want to talk about a guy that can play out with his feet, man? That's a serious guy. And his keeper on the other end. If we are going to talk about Man United, we'll talk about this guy.
I called that. I called the Andre Onana howler. I know versus.
Well, I
Brighton.
think we got to give Nick credit for that one.
Yeah, he's good 10 howlers a season.
Minimum.
I just know that there's certain teams that Onana has a howler for, man, and that goal is hilarious, man. The timing of it, the mistake itself. 15 minutes to go, there's a 1-goal difference. United are at home thinking maybe we can grab something. Jingbang, Ahmad or Bruno or whoever come out with
a 2-1. I fully expect that game to finish 2-2.
But for Onana just to throw it away,
give us absolutely no chance.
Just going to have this router.
Yeah.
Just going to have that one.
Onana. What's the stat is that David De Gea in 12 years made 12 errors, leading to goals. In 1.5 years, Onana's made 10. So he's 2 behind.
I don't know what to say about the United thing, man. I've kind of already said it. United will have a big win and will lose the next game. It's kind of like Tottenham.
That's what I'm saying. We know the squad building. We know Amorim's 3 at the back. We know United are shit. They've got Fulham away this weekend. Next week on the pod we can have
another one. Yeah, we'll decide.
But for this one,
we'll just let that slide.
Their praise, right? Onana can get his, and then we'll move it on because Mazraoui was terrible. Lenny Yoro,
2 games in a row.
Maybe I'll give you Lenny Yoro Rookie of the Week.
Yeah.
We'll move it on to that. MVPs and Rookies of the Week. Firstly, if there are any Nottingham Forest fans watching this, you're probably thinking, why are you not talking about us? We're in the title race. Yes, good result. Southampton.
Nottingham Forest MVP.
Yeah, you play Bournemouth next weekend, so we will talk about that game.
Yeah.
But Chris Wood, I can't believe what you're doing. This is shocking to me every week when you score. It's 14 Premier League goals. I don't know what you're going to end with. Whatever you end with is not. It's just.
It's
not,
crazy.
Yeah.
As I said, for me, I've already done my bad. I knew Chris Wood had a good season last season, but I was kind of saying this season that Eddie's going to outscore Chris Wood, and Nottingham Forest should 100% be in for Eddie. But bro, the way it's not just that Chris Wood has 14 goals or 15 goals or whatever he has. It's just a casual. Yeah, I'm just gonna take this one chance.
Yeah.
Left foot, yeah, that's calm. Right foot, yeah, that's calm.
They're comparing Forest to Leicester when they won the league, yeah. And I don't quite think it's like that, but he is very much doing a Jamie Vardy thing.
In a very different way.
But that one chance, one goal.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna bury this. That was Jamie Vardy in that season.
The goal versus Liverpool, I was telling him, I was like, I didn't really think it went in the way it was just so blasé, and Cho's played a good ball and Alanga's played a good ball, and now Chris Wood is in and the net is rippled.
1-0 up.
And that's the first chance, that's the first shot they've had in the whole game.
It might have been their only shot. Leandro Trossard.
Yeah.
Good big week.
Co-sign
big
that.
week. Had to give it to you. I've got Marab and Umar both as MVPs.
No Islam?
A great fight. I can't give Islam. You know, my next MVP. Quickly, Marab and Umar, great fight. I want to see that again. I want to see you two fight again. Renato Moicano. Now, I've given him an MVP only because he's just a lamb to the slaughter, man. Like, accepting that fight, obviously in that position, I feel like you have to accept the fight. Like, this is a title shot.
Dana would look at you crazy.
On the off chance that anything crazy happens in that fight, that's the biggest moment in UFC history.
Exactly.
If you go and beat Islam,
your life changes.
Right?
Just like
so I'll give you an but bro, the way you were just not ready for that fight. You're not at the level. You haven't got the quality. You're out of your depth. It's like seeing a League Two team go to Man City when Man City played Salford the other day.
Lamb to the Slaughter is the perfect analogy because he had the longest winning streak in the division, and now that's just gone now.
So I'm giving him. I can't give Islam an MVP because, bro, Islam. I genuinely think Islam could have been done with that in the first 30 seconds.
The reason I would give Islam an MVP is because Islam could have not taken the fight. Yeah. Islam was going to get paid anyway because Arman was the one who pulled out, and Islam could have said, I'll just wait and you give me the next guy who you think is worthy.
No, Islam had tough fight.
But Islam's on I'm the best in the world, I'll just take that one. Calm. A day's notice, calm. Doesn't matter. My prep is the same.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Because obviously when you're putting your title on the line,
exactly,
you spent all this time.
And he has the most title. He has more title defenses than Khabib.
Yeah.
Same division.
Yeah. He's one away from Anderson Silva's win streak, isn't it?
But you know what's crazy? Yeah, do you know what's crazy about that is Islam has 5 title defenses, which doesn't sound like that many, but in the UFC, that's everything.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Title defenses. That's a lot. That's the most in the division, in the weight class.
A lot of people get taken off them after one.
2 at the max.
But rookies, I had Arman Sarukian.
Yeah. Come on.
Whatever injury you had, I just cannot believe you pulled out a day before the fight. Even if it was 2 days, I might not have had you on this, but a day before the fight, you're meant to stop your training on Wednesday.
Exactly.
When the fight's on a Saturday.
Like pad work. That's what it's meant to be. Tactics.
Like, for anyone that bought a ticket for that fight, wanted to see Islam versus Sarukian 2, Dana billing it up. This is a numbered card. We're going to have 2 title fights on this card. All of this. And when you know the level that Islam's out at, potentially pound for pound the greatest fighter in UFC history, they're saying you don't want to see him fight
some next man. On a day's notice. Yeah, some next man.
Like, I still thought Islam would beat Arman, but that was going to be a good fight. It was
going to be a very good fight.
And pathetic. And I've got Martin Odegaard.
As a rookie,
Yeah, because I'm done with it now. Please, just don't make me talk about you in a negative way.
Yeah, I'll like cement the Lenny Euro and Onana rookies of the
Sulemana.
Yeah.
Sulemana Cooksesh.
I'll cement those. I will give Cliver an MVP.
Yeah.
We gave him a little bit, but he's got a hat trick today.
Yeah.
You know, at St. James's Park, which is no mean feat, man.
Zabani and House stopping Isak from getting that record.
Iriola, bro, I genuinely can't believe if Bournemouth were 12th, guys would be saying Bournemouth having a good season. Bournemouth for 7th, you know. So big up to Bournemouth on that one. I'll give Moyes an MVP win.
Yeah,
first home game back in the Premier League, back at Goodison, back at all this kind of stuff. I do think that Moyes is a good manager. I actually don't love the return to Everton, but I think Moyes is a good manager, and he's not gonna like do them dirty and get them relegated or anything along those lines. Yeah. So he'll get an MVP for the first win, and it's on Tottenham. Other MVPs.
Do you want to give your wide receiver a rookie?
Mark Andrews.
Is that his name?
And you know the worst thing about the Mark Andrews thing is I was bigging him up. Safest pair of hands. He's the best. He's the best catcher we have in the team. Mark Andrews does deserve a rookie from me because that's it, man. The Baltimore Ravens season is over. I can't go as far as to give Lamar a rookie. I love him too much. Some certain fans might say, interception and fumble in the first half, but
it sounds like he was let down.
He was. I will give Jaden Daniels an MVP. He's the rookie quarterback from the Washington Commanders. I need him to win the whole thing now. I need him to go all the way in his rookie season and just win it.
Yep.
He's the only guy I have left to root for.
Yeah.
I think that's it. You've already touched on the UFC stuff.
Yep. I think that's it.
Herzler, Areola, we know that. Put them in there. Trossard's been mentioned. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, look, thank you guys for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Back with a roundup. Let us know what you think. Let us know if, obviously, we didn't have any conversations about it because at the moment for us, it's not a conversation about whether Arteta should go or not. But a lot of people are having that
Is
conversation.
it?
If you think that he potentially should, or he's not living up to the standards, let us know. Let us know what you think about the title race, Iraola, Hursley, the level of the Premier League. But look, thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next week. Peace.